want me to sit here and you're sitting there?
Where do you want me to sit?
I thought you were going to sit here at that.
Hell yeah.
Miami. Settings. Airplane mode. Bam. So here today with Coach Andy Lee from Northwest Florida State. And really good program here, athletic program. One of the best. It's in the Panhandle of Florida, Niceville, Florida. And they got a brand new gym. The facilities here are fantastic. And Coach Lee came over last year when he first got here. We did an interview on the radio.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
100.3 Sports Talk, and really interesting, you know. And in the last few years, I've been getting into softball pretty heavy, and I'm finding, you know, younger girls are better to work with than the boys because they're more attentive, right? I mean.
Yeah, I'm a baseball guy. I'm a JUCO baseball guy. I started off in there, and you know, first time I was asked to coach softball, you know, the ego in me was like, yeah, I don't want to, I'm a baseball guy and all that. But after about 6 months of doing it, you know, I would never go back and put that uniform on and coach third base. I mean, I love this sport. It is a fast pace. You know, females seem to absorb and listen, and to me a little more, you know, it's not all about getting drafted or egos and all that. It's more of a team chemistry thing they like. And you know,
so how long have you been coaching now in softball?
After I got released by the Red Sox, I coached 1 year of high school baseball, and then just wasn't a big fan of teaching in the classroom, so I worked at my alma mater as a pitching coach at Hines Community College, baseball pitching coach. And you know, it was like the grind of all young coaches. You know, I had to work in the warehouse, you know, part-time stuff and all that. So I worked on my master's degree, got my master's degree, and my wife and I met, ex-wife and I met as I was a baseball player, she was a softball player there, and they still had the same softball coach, and she'd been there like 30 years, wanted to retire. She reached out to me and said thought I'd be a good candidate, you know, I'd do a good job, and turned it down the first year. You know, ego got the best of me. And then next year, had a child. I was like, shoot, you know, I need to work. And so they found me a teaching position at the college. You know, a job, full-time job. And I was like, I need to do this. You know, I got a kid coming on the way. And, you know, and after about 6 months, I just fell in love with it. You know, I just thought this was, you know, went full speed into the job, and you know, haven't looked back since.
Do you also coach in summer times? Did you start coaching over the summer and doing any travel ball or anything?
No, I went straight from baseball right into softball. I mean,
college softball.
Dads were making fun of me. I had an L screen out, throwing overhand. I didn't know. I just learned on the thing. I'd sit on an egg crate from about 40 feet away and get really low and just pump, you know, as hard as I could in there, and you know, just worked them like baseball players, and eventually just evolved and started throwing underhand a little myself. And
that's funny because when I went from baseball, right, and I'm trying to do softball, and you know, I had to be able to throw underhand.
Yeah.
And so as soon as I started trying to throw underhand, I'm like, oh my gosh, and I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it for the longest time. Now I can throw some cheese. I'm getting close to 60 underhand. Right, I can move it around a little bit. I can't throw any break and stuff, but it's.
I even thought maybe I need to go to a pitching coach and learn how to pitch. You know, throw live bat in practice.
How you doing now down there? You throwing good?
Yeah, I throw pretty good. I got terrible knees though. I have no ACL and whatever, so I just learned to kind of sit down and do front toss a lot. But we incorporate a lot of live into our practice, and you know, we just work on the mechanics and drive the ball, and it's been successful. You know, we've done pretty well this year. We lead the nation in home runs and stuff.
Pitching is pretty huge.
Oh yeah. I mean, pitching is,
in
you know,
softball, it's like,
in baseball, pitching and defense is big, but in softball it's a little bit. I mean, it's just, you know, I've always said it's 80% of the game. You know, if you can pitch and play defense, hitting's just 20%. You know, so, you know, having good pitching is big. You know, you only really need 3 or 4 now. Before you could just get away with 1 and 2 pitchers, but you know, good pitching always beats good hitting. You know, it always wins.
Right.
So,
how many girls do you carry on a collegiate Junior college?
Over here, I've got 20 scholarships, so I carry at least 20. Every once in a while, I can get a walk-on, but cost of living down here is pretty high expensive. The kid wants to walk on and get their own apartment or something. So
Is that number different per state? Like, does Georgia have a different amount of scholarships?
yeah, we're Division I JUCO, and the max you can get, and it's all done by institution and regions, is 24 full everything, which is a lot of scholarships. I only know a certain handful of programs that offer the 24 full. Most of it's done by region, how many you can offer and all that. So yeah, you get 24 tuition fees, books, housing, utilities, meals, all that. So.
And so pretty much every girl on the team's on scholarship.
Oh yeah, and it's an unbelievable investment. Division I think they only have like 14 scholarships, and they break that up so much. And baseball would have to like 12.5.
Yeah,
something crazy, and it's not even fair. All those. So. It's with cheaper tuition. We still great institution, one of the best academically around. We offer bachelor degree programs also. So. For a kid and a parent, none of these kids are going to get drafted and make a lot of money in professional stuff. So, no one wants to pay back student loans. I know what that feels like. I know what a lot of my friends are doing that.
Right.
So, junior college is a great opportunity to get a free education, and leave after 2 years debt free.
Do most of the girls come from this area, or are they Panhandle girls, or state of Florida?
I've only been here. Last year was my first year, the COVID year, so it was halfway through, and this is my first real recruiting class. And my connections are when I was at LSU Eunice is mainly Louisiana, South Louisiana. So I brought a lot of kids from that area, but my 22 recruiting class is a lot of Panhandle kids. Got some kids from Pensacola area, a couple lower Alabama kids. I'm starting to expand my recruiting base from Louisiana, Mississippi. Now, North Alabama's got some great athletes, Georgia. So I'm trying to expand a little more and work my way. Florida, most definitely.
And you do that through a network, because I know, like in baseball, there'll be some scouts involved, right? Because scouts are all in the area, in the region and stuff, and they can. They
JUCO baseball is completely different than they recruit pretty much with the Perfect Game stuff, that series. Plus, all these kids have advisors and whatever, so you pretty much deal through the organization. Softball, it's still wide travel ball. What you do is a lot of times it's you work with one organization, they send kids here, they graduate, they do well, move on to a 4-year school, or and that reputation carries, and more kids want to come to you and play. And then you just got to build a good program, and you got to send kids to the next level. Means a lot to these kids.
What are you looking for when you're going to watch girls? Not just the talent level. Is it?
I pretty much just look for athletes. Can play the game hard. That means a lot. The intangibles mean a lot. Bat speed. Running. They just the metrics part is what you look for, and then you do your research. If the kid a good kid, did they work hard in the classroom? Are they a teammate? Are they a good teammate? Do they you want those type of kids in your program.
Yeah, absolutely, right. A lot of times you think, for me, I think that the talent level is pretty close when you start looking at the better athletes, right? And it's kind of like those little things.
Oh yeah, that's what separates. I'm just being honest here. You get kids at the junior college level that are very athletic, but what separates them from like the Power 5 Division I schools is those kids just eat, breathe, and sleep it and focus every day to get better. Their maturity level is so much better, so much higher than the typical junior college kid. Now, you get, you do see those kids that mature and get those offers and whatever, but it's just, you're dealing with a different level of maturity a lot of times at this level.
I wonder what that is that makes that happen.
It's probably just the way the kids are raised. Just not every kid's built to be not every kid some kids just eat, breathe, and sleep it and want to be the best. Some kids just do it for fun, and probably a lot of it's the way they were raised and way they were trained and all that stuff. But a lot of it's just kids just have heart and they want to be the best.
So would you say that if a girl was trying to get into junior college and trying to play, is the best way to be seen not just playing on your high school team, right? To get with a good travel team. That's
high school team. We play 60 games a year, so it's hard for me to get out and watch kids during my season. I would say for a kid that wants to play college softball, playing on a travel ball team helps. But I would pick one dream school, 3 realistic schools, and then another school, and I would go to their camps. I would email them. I would.
That's crazy because I think people don't know what it takes to get recruited. They think that going to a junior college or being able to go to a school is some magical thing. That how do they get in touch with a coach? How do I get a coach to see me?
No.
And
and every 9th and 10th graders thinks they're going to play Power 5, and the odds are, such a small percentage. I mean, you're talking, if you're going to play in a Division I conference, less than 0.5%. So they need to be realistic. They need to know and they need to work hard because this Panhandle Conference is the best junior college conference in the nation. It really is. If you look at the rankings, look at where kids have gone. So, it's hard to get in here. And, you got to be a quality athlete.
But these girls should be aggressive in their recruiting.
They do. It's a sales. It really is sales.
They sit back. Most of these girls, we're training a couple teams right now, and they think it's like some mystery, right? That they're like, someone's going to have to get them into school, and someone's going to reach out, and there's going to be like a holy grail.
No.
And it's like, college coaches are looking for players. Their job is to find players. Yeah. And if you go to them,
that's the main thing. If you go to a showcase with their camp, or where they can see you on their field, where travel ball is such a business now. It's hard for me to go to a tournament where there's 120 teams and see. You're just not going to see everybody.
Right.
You just get confused. You get lost. So we've got to have those connections with the travel ball coaches, and we've got to go and just zero in on a few kids because I can't see 100. 1,000 kids at a tournament.
And what are the rules for them, like coming here to work out with you? Like, can girls?
Junior college has got a lot of liberal rules. You can come to camps. In summers, you can come to. We can work out kids as long as it's not with our team. Division I have a lot of different rules in that, but. It gives us it gives us an opportunity to see more kids. But those Division I coaches, they're tapped into those big, huge organizations, the Firecrackers elite team, all that. So they see those kids, and they have each of those coaches and teams have like a recruiting coordinator that reaches out to people and all that stuff.
Nice.
So.
So what do you think about those video companies? Companies that are putting out. Do you do a lot of it?
It helps a little bit, but when we get bombarded with emails, especially at my level, I can't go through them all. But it does promote them. But as a coach, you got to be careful too because those people's jobs, they make money off selling kids. I'm selling kids, selling their talent and all that stuff. So they want every kid to get a scholarship.
Right.
You got to do your homework and go see that kid, bring them, work them out. Then you got to see if they're a gamer. If they can produce in the game.
Right.
That's a big thing that we got to watch out for because, those recruiting services, they get paid. They sell that they're going to get kids in college, and they just want to push kids everywhere.
But it is helpful.
Yeah, it's helpful.
To a degree, right?
It's helpful, but I'd say going to camps and being proactive yourself and emailing the coaches and, working hard, getting better and all that is bigger than
right. Have you, we talked before we turned the camera on today about social media and the public persona that wearing a bad T-shirt, right?
Yeah.
Wearing a T-shirt or something.
Oh yeah. Social media means a lot. it looks bad for the program, looks bad for me, looks bad at the school. If social media is huge now in kids' life, adults' life.
Do they have to sign a contract with
Yeah.
you or anything?
There's a contract. We signed. We have a social monitoring agreement form, and you can get kicked off the team if you do stupid stuff. We don't want to see our athletes in bars. I mean, we know they're college kids and they're going to do stupid stuff sometimes, but flaunting it and putting it on social media is not what you do.
Have you had any problems with that with girls coming into school? I mean,
coaches research.
They're in high school, right?
I know a lot of kids that lost scholarships and opportunities because they're posting, verbiage, words that they shouldn't do on social media, hate stuff, or doing stupid stuff, and that right there is the worst thing you can possibly do. No one wants to bring a cancer into their program or someone that's not going to be dedicated. So.
Right, and that's a direct reflection on you, right? It's like imagine if they did that on campus. Right?
Oh, yeah.
If they got on your team and they did that and they were doing it before, right? I mean, you definitely come back
that's
to
something, that, is completely off limits in my program.
So your philosophy on training or getting better once they're here, can you go about that a little bit?
You recruit good talent, and when you get them here, I'm all about reps, hard work. I'm not a big gadget guy. We don't use like one arm stuff. We just pretty much tee, live, and front toss is all I've done for hitting. Now, defensively we do some stuff, and you got to get kids in the right position and hustle and know where to go. But one thing that you get kids nowadays that really don't know the game like they used to. All they do is go to hitting lessons, and they show up for the weekends for their travel ball team. They really don't know what a backup base is.
Right.
They don't know pitch counts. They don't know where to work. Yeah.
You see that in baseball, it's showcasing, so it's just showing off.
Yes.
So the coaches don't really have them bunt, right, or hit and run, or right, and they're
runner at second, less than 2 outs. They don't know how to move kids over. They'll hit a ground ball to third base where the runner can't advance or double up someone. They don't back up bases. They don't know how to compete in certain, counts at the bat. They don't know how to shift. Like when, if the kid fouls off three, kind of shift a little bit, or, do something like you got to tell them exactly what to do. I wish kids would come knowing the game and fundamentally sound and all that, because you see a lot of kids hurt their arm because all they do is hit, and no one has good throwing motions anymore. They don't, they don't, a lot of them just, their arms angles or their arms are weak, or they throw with bad mechanics, so their arms get hurt.
I've heard that so much, Coach. I've heard that from scouts in baseball too. It's just all about arm strength, trying to get nothing but velo, and they'll do whatever they can to get velo, and sacrificing their arm. And they watching young players play catch. It's like wow.
Yeah.
It's like they're flipping the ball, they step backwards. It's terrible. Terrible. There's no fundamentals in it. It's just funny to hear you say that.
And those little things win ball games. You know that. You sit there and you throw one away, 2-run score. You don't tag up, you don't do that. That's stuff that cost a lot of ball games. And so I wish these kids would come already there and know how to do that.
Right, I know. So if you're a player out there, you got to play the whole game, right? I mean, you always have some place to be, right? You got to be backing up somewhere, knowing the outs, right? Separate the base running from your time at the plate. You made an out, or you got on an error, and now all of a sudden they're sitting over there like, I stink, and hey, you're on base.
Yeah.
Right, now it's time to run the bag.
You get kids that get mad because they got walked, or they get, or they don't, there's stuff you could do, little things to help the team. And, it's just, this gets frustrating when you see a kid get mad because they flared one over. It's about the team. It's not about you a lot, so.
When you recruit and you get these players in here, do you ever have players switching over a lot? Like, Bro came here as a first baseman, and now she's a third baseman, outfielder?
Yeah, all the time. Usually up the middle is your best athletes, shortstop, center fielders, You do have to recruit by catching and pitching by position, but an athlete can make an adjustment. a true athlete can play anywhere. So you get kids that can run, hit, throw, all that. You can find a place for them to play.
Yeah, you would think, right?
Yeah,
That's the best way to do it. I mean, I know in professional baseball, that's what they're doing that now, right? It's beside the pitching and catching, they just recruit athletes,
mm-hmm.
and they'll find a place for you once you get there,
Yeah.
right? And that's the best way to go.
Mm-hmm.
So last year, you guys led the nation in bombs.
We did. We're in the top 5 in a lot of categories. Now, to be honest, we didn't play the toughest schedule. We were about to get into a conference where that strength of schedule would have got higher. But, these kids, they got hot. When they get disciplined and they don't chase out of the zone and they learn to drive the pitch to all fields, usually good things happen and they put up numbers. And we have a great weight training program here.
Yeah, I saw that right next door.
Oh yeah, and the kids are on a great program. They lift, 3 times a week until season mode, and it's twice a week. And you can see when they first get here, they're 1 hopping, 2 hopping the wall. After in the strength program and being in it in 6 months. I mean, those balls are now, they put on about 8-10 pounds of muscle. They're, you start hitting, you start getting stronger. And
I was sitting there today watching your BP. It was pretty impressive. Girls were smacking the ball.
Yeah, I got some strong kids. I got some talented kids that are working hard and they're getting better, and I'm proud of them.
Yeah. So you're looking forward to this season then, huh?
Yeah.
How many games in the junior college season?
Junior college is on dates. So we have 30 dates and we play double headers every time. So if every game gets rescheduled or doesn't get rained out or we play everything, it'd be a 60-game schedule. And then in the fall, you're allowed 10 dates. And the fall is when I try to showcase my kids in front of the Division I schools. Last year, we played LSU, we played UL, we played Southeastern Louisiana. We've always played, big schools. Before the pandemic, I had Florida State on the schedule. I had, I think, South Alabama. So, that's when we try to play the best out there to where, kid has a good day. It's,
Right.
2 bombs and steals a couple bases, then that coach is going to say, ooh, that kid can play.
And it also tells the girls that you have,
Oh, yeah.
they're seeing, if you want to play at the next level, you got to see what's out there.
And that's what it's all, we played, this year we're playing a very, very tough schedule. And, when you get kids in that pressure situation where they have to produce and whatever, and seeing good pitching against good batters and all that, it's only going to make you better. And then in the fall, I like also when we play the Florida States or the LSUs and stuff, that's like a emotional time. They get butterflies. They get really big butterflies and they're nervous. And if they can perform in that environment, that's the same environment as postseason. Right. So hopefully they've been through that and now they know how to adjust to it.
When they do the postseason, they do it by state, by conference. First, then you enter the
the way the Panhandle does it, the way Florida Region 8 does it is 2 teams there's 4 conferences in the region, and 2 teams from each conference go to the state tournament, and I think it's over near Miami this year. But so you got to finish in the top 2
in your conference.
In the conference, which consists of Pensacola State, us, Chipola, Tallahassee, and Gulf Coast State College. So, and it's I think 4 of those teams, have been ranked this year. So,
you get your hands full.
Yeah, it is. But that's what you want, though.
Is there a perennial powerhouse I know the conference itself.
Oh yeah, Chipola and softball has been the big boys. They have won 3 national championships in the past 12 years, 50, and they compete hard every year. Gulf Coast State College in Panama City has always had a strong program. Pensacola right now is probably the best team in our conference. They got 2 lights out arms. Wow. And it's you only get better when you compete against the best, and kids want to come down here because heck, you're right near the beach. We have great facilities. Not many. You won't see many Division I schools with an indoor facility like that.
Right, that's crazy.
Yeah, and then The school is second to none. You know, the resources we have, the way the things look, our cafeteria is, you know, heck, it's better than most restaurants. We got a culinary arts department here,
Right.
and man, they'll make filet mignon and stuff. The kids will, the culinary arts department, and kids get to eat it here. So
That's fantastic.
Mhm.
I know it is. It's beautiful. They just keep improving this place constantly.
They do.
Right. I mean, it's like we've been here. I've lived here now almost 15 years.
Oh, yeah, we got great leadership, great board from the top down, from the president to the board to, and plus, you know, we got the largest Air Force base right here. So a lot of the people come here, and we have resources and programs geared towards that. You know, our you know, police school type thing, and then we got the fire and safety school. We got an unbelievable welding program. So we have a lot of those not traditional academic courses, but then our academic courses, I mean, nursing program, 100% success rate that passes the national boards. It's just top notch altogether, this school.
Yeah, I take advantage of the Mattie Kelly Arts Center.
Yeah.
And the shows and the concerts
Oh
that
yeah.
they put on.
When you can bring Broadway plays in, you know,
Right.
you know, not many places can do that, and they bring them in the snow during the wintertime. You know, a lot of the community, the snowbirds that love here, love the arts and love the program. I mean, heck, we have a school art gallery that has Soliver dollies and multi-million-dollar picture. I mean, you know, it's just really, they take a lot of pride in their arts program.
The community has really helped out. A lot of individual people
Oh, yeah.
from the area have donated and are
Oh,
into it.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah, it's a great place. So you're looking forward to this season?
Yeah, we're off to a good start. We're 10-4. We played a really tough schedule. Our offensive numbers are great. Pitching's getting better every day. You know, we need to get better there.
You haven't started conference play yet?
No, conference play starts usually about beginning of March, second week in March, and then we play everybody a home and home in our conference, and then we open up the season actually with a round robin tournament. So it makes 5 games against each team, so there's no tiebreaker when, you know, first and second comes out. So
Right on.
Yeah.
It's on then.
it is. That's when butterflies start hitting the stomach, and that's when the real season starts. This is kind of like preseason right now, and then
And how many conference games are there?
we play everybody. Play a home and home of 4 games, and then we play that round robin. So we play everybody 5 times. 5 times 4 is 20 games. So
That's hopefully you're in the top 2 and you play in the state.
yeah, that's the thing. You know, you got to finish in the top 2, and you know, you can't win a tournament unless you're in it. So we try to just make it.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, awesome. Well, was there anything you'd like to tell players out there? Any things you would tell
A high school kid.
Yeah.
It's all about work ethic. It's all about drive, the inner heart, and you know, if you want it bad enough, you can get it. I mean, you know, that's what separates the good doctors and lawyers and all that, is the work ethic and passion they have in it. So
How about pitfalls, like things you see that are stopping girls from getting to this level? Or
well, you see kids that a lot of times, and just to be honest with you, they get burned out because they get so much pressure put on by family members or whatever to be the best and all that. You gotta have fun. This game's a game. It's, you know, it was made for 8-year-olds. So, you know, we're just the older people playing a kid's game. So have fun. You know, compete. Competing's fun, and don't put too much pressure on yourself, because, you know, softball and baseball is a game of failure. You fail 7 out of 10 times, you're in the Hall of Fame. So,
Right.
so you got to learn how to deal with failure in this game. That's the big thing, is adversity, and dealing with that.
Is it? I know. I always tell kids, it's like I don't see you doing cartwheels whenever you get a hit. Right? They get a hit, and it's like they're on first, and they just kind of expect. But if they make it out, they're, you know, depressed. They're throwing stuff or kicking stuff. It's like
That's selfish. You know, it's I know they get frustrated, and you know but you know they don't need to put that much pressure on themselves.
right.
Enjoy the game.
It's too much of a roller coaster, right? It's like,
Yeah.
especially when you're gonna fail most of the time.
Yeah, you know, you can't go up to bat with the body language of, oh gosh, last at bat and whatever. You already lost. You gotta be a duck and let that roll off your back and go out there with, you know, you gotta go up there and just regroup and blank mind. And you know, when you hit the best when you're not thinking, you're just seeing and hitting. And when you go up there with your mind going 5 different things, like and all this stuff, that's what you do in practice. In the game, you just let it go.
Right, you gotta prep. Right,
Yeah.
you gotta prep. Work on all this stuff so when the game happens, it's
second
autopilot. Right.
Yeah.
You got it in place. Amen. Yeah. Thank you for seconding all that. I'm preaching that for sure.
Yeah, you don't have to be the brightest thing in the world. Sometimes you overthink stuff and make it complicated.
Absolutely, I agree with you 100%. Well, I'd like to thank you for your time today.
Oh, I appreciate it. I enjoyed this. I'm a softball, baseball junkie. I could talk about this forever. I love it.
Right on. Well, we're sure glad to have you in town, man.
All right.
We're glad to have you in town. We wish you guys the best of luck.
Thank you.
For sure.
All right.
Sweet.
Well,